Do you have any supplies that you love them and you got them, but you never dare use them? Eek. Hey crafty people, it's Tasha. Welcome back to my channel. If you like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up, and I'd love it if you would consider sharing this with your crafty friends. Okay, today I've got my Altenew Watercolour, Metallic Watercolour set out. They are beautiful. When I saw them, I needed them. They just stole my heart. So I got them for Christmas. Not the one just gone, the one before. And I have used them, but I don't know, I'm scared to use them all and then not own them anymore. But today, we're going to play with them. So I'm going to start by swatching them because I haven't ever swatched them. And I think that's part of the reason why I don't use them, because I don't know what they would look like. So I'm starting by just squirting a bit of water into each of the pans. You want to let the water sit there for a little bit, and before you start painting, sort of swish your brush round just to wake all of that beautiful pigment up and to get the most from the colours. So this isn't watercolour paper that I'm using, it's just really thick black cardstock. And I've just drawn a rough little table with a space for each of the paints. And I'm just painting a little bit on so you can see how beautiful they are, how wonderfully metallic they are. They are gorgeous. They are. So I thought maybe I wouldn't be alone. Maybe have you got some supplies that you haven't used for whatever reason? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments down below. It would be nice to know that it's not just me. So yeah, I finished swatching each of the colours. I wrote all the names on as well so I knew what they were called. You can pull the whole of the inside of the palette out. You just pull back these little metal pin things, and that allows you to take out each of the separate pans, and they've actually got names written on the bottom. So I wrote all the names on in white jelly roll, and then I trimmed the paper down, and I even got out my corner chomper thing and rounded the corners. So I have used these before. I've done a couple of paintings with them, but I just don't use them enough. I don't. So today I'm going to be making two really easy, simple cards that if you have these paints or something similar that you've not dared to use, I was hoping to just give you a few ideas on what to do. I love how that swatch chart looks now. That's so pretty. I've even got the little piece of gold tape on the top, so I know that that's the metallic one. So I'm just testing to make sure that the paint is really woken up all the pigment, and I'm just going to paint a really, really, really easy rainbow. So this is the same thick black cardstock. It's actually just the other bit that I trimmed down when I'd finished the swatch chart. So it isn't watercolour paper, so it's not going to take a lot, and it sucks the water straight up, so you can't really take too long to work with the paint, but it's thick enough that it can take some water without warping. So I just chose from my beautiful new swatch chart. See, it's so helpful already. I chose the colours that I wanted to use to make my rainbow, and I just started putting them on. And they're so beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so this is an episode of my monthly Altenew Educator series, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm not sure whether everybody is aware, I actually run online live workshops through my Altenew Educator certification. So if that is something that you would be interested in, then you can check out the workshop page on my blog, and that will tell you all of the upcoming workshops, and if there's anything that you particularly think that you would like me to consider doing for a workshop, then let me know. The workshops that I'm running at the moment as well, I'm not charging, and obviously you get to ask me questions, and yeah, hopefully it's a lot of fun, and I'd love it if you wanted to join us. So the other card today, I got some, this is watercolour paper, but it's not particularly good watercolour paper. I think it's like the mixed media paper, so you're not going to get a brilliant painting on it, but it's okay for just slatting some paint down, and that's all I'm doing. So I chose the 3 green shades from the palette, along with one of the golds, and I can't remember which one it was, and also the sterling silver, which is like a silver white, and yeah, I just whacked them all on the paper. I wet it first, just to allow the pigments to move a little bit, but because this isn't particularly good watercolour paper, they don't really move very far. So yeah, I just thought I'll just slat it on, mix it up a little bit, and see what we get. And I know that I'm going to be die cutting from this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And watercolour is one of those things where you might think that it looks terrible while you're doing it, but I think that 9 times out of 10 you're very pleasantly surprised when it dries, especially things like this where you want it just to look all mixed up. So then I moved on. I got the Geo Steps 3D embossing folder. Sorry, I ran an A2 sheet of Nina £80 through that, and then I got out my very technical splat box that is just an old shoebox, and I just slatted on a load of the gold. I love splattering the gold. Yeah, they're beautiful. Then I grabbed one of the small sentiment sets that Altenew make, and this one says, "You're the best thing." And I wanted to see whether you can emboss on top of the metallic watercolours. So I thought I'd give it a go. I was a little bit nervous because I do really like that rainbow. It's so pretty. And I didn't want to wreck it, but no, I went for it. Let's just feel the fear and do it anyway. So I've just placed my stamp where I want it to be. I did use my Misty in case I wanted to or needed to stamp it more than once, but it was actually okay. So I did whack on quite a lot of the anti-static powder, because I just wasn't sure how the metallic watercolour would work with embossing powder. I didn't want it just sticking everywhere. So I used my Wow ultra slow drying embossing pad, and I did only need to stamp once because this ink is awesome. And then I poured on the white superfine from my gigantic container of it. I've got enough there to last me a lifetime, I think, which is good because I do love me some embossing. And then yeah, I just really gently and slowly added the heat, and it worked, and it looks awesome. I wafted it about a little bit to make sure that the embossing was completely cool before I wiped away the rest of the anti-static powder. So here is our watercolour sheet that we did before. It's dry now, and I grabbed out the Just Leaves die set. I adore this set, and another thing that I like to do when I'm feeling a bit I don't know what to do with a supply, or I went back and I scrap lifted or cased one of my own cards. So I made a card a few months ago with this set and a different 3D embossing powder, and I loved how that card went, so I decided to remake the card but with different supplies. And when this, like, just look at that, when it comes out of the die, it's just stunning. it looks so beautiful. I mean, you can't even catch all of the shimmer on camera. It's just beautiful. So I did die cut another of the same leaves from £110 Nina and just stuck them together just to layer it up a little bit. Then I painted a strip of the black cardstock with the gold paint and put that underneath one of the Essential Birthday Sentiment strips. So I decided not to emboss the first card with the leaves because there's a lot of gold and bling, but I added some of the white satin sequins onto the rainbow card. I trimmed that one down and I added that to a mini slimline. So those are my cards for today. I hope that you like them. Like I said, let me know in the comments if there are any supplies that you've got that you are too intimidated to use or just would be too upset not to own them anymore to use them. I hope that if you like this video, you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Hit the bell so that you are notified whenever I post new uploads. I post every Wednesday and Sunday and some extra days in between. I hope you all have a safe, happy, wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.